Hello and welcome to our first modding stream. I'm Hami, and today we're gonna try running New Horizons on the open source Storm engine. We'll be playing it and then fixing bugs. Currently, there's still a lot of things broken, so not sure if we're actually going to get to play much of it. But yeah, we'll see how things go. I would say if you have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat, and I'll also try and answer them as best as I can. To start off with, we're gonna be fixing a bug a second time because KB mentioned that the way I'm currently doing it isn't the best way to fix it. It's basically related to ship textures being handled differently in Storm 2.0 and the latest open source version. I'll basically show you the part that's broken, and then we'll try and fix it properly. Basically, your old game used to look for ships textures in the ships folder, and new game doesn't do that. And it's finished building. So I've been playing a little of the Tales of a Seahawk storyline. Managed to go to Jamaica, now back to Bridgetown. So at least up to this part, everything seems to work. For some reason people are attacking us. Maybe attacking the wrong people. The middle of testing session. Is that everyone? Okay. No, not everyone. Currently combat does seem a bit easy, with the AI being pretty passive, and I can basically just like sort of stun lock them once you attack. But anyway, we go to C. You'll notice that the ship textures are just completely missing. That's what we're going to fix. So let's drop a quick save so we can get here easier. So what I did previously was check if the engine version was Pirates of the Caribbean or earlier, and then tell it to look in the ships folder. But KB mentioned that we can also do this from scripts, and apparently Tiho, to each his own, does something similar. We're going to see how that works. So yeah, the set texture path does indeed exist as a function. Now we just need to call it every time we want to load the ship. Apparently Tiho, to each his own, also has a start load function, which is interesting. Start load is called as an event for ship start load. Ship start load is called every time a ship is mounted. I guess ship end load might be at the bottom. Yeah, ship end load. So yeah, that's pretty much exactly what we want. So let's do the same in New Horizons. And let's also put the AI ship. I don't know, let's put that bottom. Basically, we need to set texture path to ships. Get forward slash should work. And it's a lot less confusing. And yeah, basically set it to ships, and then at the end load, remove it again. And we just need those event handlers to work. Same. Start load, ship end load. Now let's try it. This would be very easy if it did work. Something's not working. So let's look at the error log. No, not this error log. This error. Undeclared identifier set texture path. Really? This is declared in CDocs. And nowhere else. Above set glow parameters. We sort of match the same. Let's look for this one. Nope. This one. Yeah, this is also in CDocs. Let's see. So yeah, let's grab this one. Let's see if he's going to be happy now. No. Still not quite. Doesn't accept 2 arguments. Let's look for the correct way to use this. Number of arguments is 2. So that should be correct. At least if we're looking in the correct folder. It's still giving an error. AI ship doesn't accept 2 arguments. No, it definitely does. Is it? That shouldn't really make a difference. No, it doesn't. File log, system log. They aren't going to contain anything interesting. just this one. Doesn't accept 2 arguments. Line 5726. Sorry. And cdocs, to each his own, it does work. How strange. So I'm going to complain about 5731, this one. What if I just move this one here? This is technically the only place it's being used. For some reason he thinks the function accepts 0 arguments. Let's debug why. Hello, Sabrian. Currently trying to debug a scripting issue that shouldn't be happening. It's saying a texture path takes 0 arguments. It's declared here. Is this perhaps in like a different script library? So this back to, yeah. Script library test. Yeah, this one also has this one. The DirectX 9 render script library. Let's import that. What else does it have? The Steam API, yeah, we don't need the Steam API. And set texture path. Set texture path. Yeah, it's fine if it's first. Let's try again. It's probably going to work now. And it's probably also going to complain that it's missing declarations for all of these. Yep. Basically, the problem was we needed to import the X9 render script library for set texture path to be available. And it should work, except that I think I've still commented out the actual fix. Now it should work. Yep, it's working, and we get to hear some very loud cannon sounds. You can also check other ships. Yep, this is working. Which means we can probably get rid of the engine changes. Yep. So you can basically roll this one back and just take this commit and in my local branch revert or drop it. Let's just revert it. There we go. And now this is gone. I need to modify the engine. Do need to commit this one. Yep, this change and this, not this. This one, yep. Those changes. Those other ones are just testing. Come on. All those lines. Yep. So this and this. Fix ship textures. And then we can go to GitHub and we can close the original pull request. And that's one less compatibility patch needed in the engine. So, let's run the game again. Everything should still be working. Yeah. Okay, good. I can load the previous save. This one. Again, if anyone has any questions, feel free to ask.
Have a look at my fine ware. I welcome your coin and your company.
So, yeah. In the main Tales of a Seahawk storyline, just managed to make it back to Bridgetown, which I think means we have to ask for someone at the tavern. No, spyglass doesn't work. I'm fixing it, and I'll demonstrate. Because yeah, that was still broken. We now go to C view. Again, have the port shoot its cannons way too loud. I fixed the spyglass so you can zoom in, but the information is actually still missing. Which, if we can find the file, if I can remember what it's called. This message is gonna send information about the ship or fort you're looking at. It's going to send it to the interface. Problem is, this is if you look at it into each zone, the message has gotten a lot more advanced in the newer version. And there's like, what? 11 new parameters related to everything you can see. So that's still something we need to fix. And then Spyglass should also work. Let's actually try using some dummy parameters real quickly. And the problem is also that there's being used in a lot of different places. That's commented, that's commented, that's commented, that's commented, that's commented, that's commented, that's commented. So, okay. Yeah, I commented it. Yeah, makes sense. Which one of these would be the real one? Let's just try one. Let me take this one. And then we need to actually extend it into this one. Close that. Close that. We need screen space. Let's get the example parameter list. Let's see if we can quickly fix this. Ship hull, ship sails, ship crew, ship speed, distance. Let's do float, distance. Plug that in. Cannons, ship max cannons. Int. Let's make it equal to ship cannons. It sort of makes sense, I guess. Let's go in. F ship charge, ship nation, sail state. I'm not sure what sail state needs to be. Let's try 0. Find out if that crashes. Yeah, and face. That's definitely not gonna work. Fencing skill. And skill. Accuracy. Navigation, boarding. Nation is also, yeah, okay, that's correct. Navigation skills, boarding skill, captain name, empty string, and then ship class, another. Fencing skill, cannon skill, all of this can go here. Something like that. Should, in theory, work. But let's quickly find out if it does. So restart the game. And it crashes. I spyglass 84. Invalid syntax. Why is that an invalid syntax? Yeah, boarding skill, captain name, empty string, ship class. Also check it in the engine. Yes. The empty string is the face texture. Ship name, ship type. I'm getting an invalid syntax. Line 84. Should be correct, right? Or doesn't the engine like it if I put everything on a new line? There's 21 parameters. And there's 22 here, so that's correct. Really? Let's try this one. Let's just all put it on a single line. Didn't work. Really shouldn't work. Guessing it probably will. Yep. Putting it on a single line works. It's another engine bug. Nope. Still not working. So we have the wrong one. But I think we can take this. Copy paste it. Now you have to check if this is one of those that I commented or not. Apparently the next one should be on like 611 or so. This one. That one already does zero out everything. This one. This one contains stuff. Let's see if this is roughly correct. Yeah, I think so. What else did we comment out? And that's the one from there. There's another one in step telescope init parameters. No? Oh, no, that's a different one. Right, that's probably this one in it's not disabled because the riddle is in mode. It might be disabled. Wait. Let's get rid of all that. Just assume now this is never it. Let's try again. Okay, skipped compile. Oh. We're looking at the rock, but I think behind the rock is a tier 5 medium penance at 800 yards. Like wind speed 3.7. That's Bridgetown Fort. So I guess we have spy glasses partially working. There's also probably some texture issues. Because take a look at this. This is basically the spyglass configuration copied over from to each his own. There's like a flag all in here. If you look at it, where is it? This one. And this is what it looks like. So I'll probably need the similar thing for New Horizons. But I think we have more nations. We have Portugal, and we have a guest nation, Sweden, America, and maybe personal nation. I think that's everything, yeah. Yeah, maybe quickly copy over this texture from to each zone to see if it vaguely works, even if it is probably incorrect. Black all. Let's copy it into New Horizons. And let's see what happens. Yeah. So we see a flag. It's the Dutch flag, even though it's Bridgetown. And that one doesn't have a flag. Pause. Nope. Wrong editor. think there's like where do we find globals? Yeah. So England is 0. And then we'll take the texture we just had. This one. England is 0, France is 1. Spain is 2. Ireland is 3. Holland is 4. Portugal is 5. We have America, Sweden. So yeah, we're missing a few flags, and they're wrong. So yeah, that's how we can fix the spyglass. Should we just finish it or add it? Yeah. This one. This is fine. And this one can stay commented. Stay commented. These ones cannot. We can move all of this. Up. Like here. We already have a ship distance. That can become ship distance. Question is, what are we doing with this distance? And why was it displaying the distance? Apparently we're adding the distance to the type New Horizons, which is not quite what we want. Okay, so character ID is the ID of the character we're looking at. Does it show the name of the captain in vanilla New Horizons? Character index. We don't need a character index. We need a character. Index get character href. Destination town. Crew. I don't see anything about a name. I assume New Horizons doesn't show captain's name. href name. I think should be correct, right? Name and last name. Let's try that. So relaunch. Scripts are compiling, which is always nice to see. William Bishop and Berthollet Nibble. And it's also showing the distance, like this bottom center of the screen, as well as in the tier. It's tier 5, medium pinions, distance of about 800 yards, captained by Bresnaut, Nivel, something like that. What else do we have? No, this one. Sail state. How do we get the sail state? Sail state. Game expects sail state. Sail state. Yeah, it's probably doing is mapping the sail state to an icon index on one of these textures. Let's find out which texture. That we're going to use Converter TX, the same tool we used for so many years. We're going to look for ship state. It's in battle interface. Ship state. That's not it. Ship class, also not it. Ship icons too. That's ship icons, so that's not it. List icons too. This is probably, but also probably not. This one. Can speed list icons too. That's speed. Sail UV array. That's the sail UV array. Only leaves us with the question, what texture? Icon spec. Accuracy cannon. Captain. Sail 2 is list icons. Yep. Speed, sail 2 crew, captain name, blah. Sail UV array. Yes. What texture do you use for sails? repeat. It is list icons too. No, list icons too, and then these are the sales states. Okay. So if we copy battle phase, come on, battle interface, list icons to copy them to battle interface, and we should see this one or this one, whichever one is index 0. So yeah, that's the sales state. Which then means that sales state equals 1, and this is a floating sales state. So if it is down, we'll put it at 0. If it's halfway, put it at 1, otherwise I'll put it at 2. That should work. Question is, do we have this function? No. What does this function do? Yes, we can add this. Href, okay. This is also an AI ship. Race sail, ship mode menu. Yeah. Also just look for sail state. It's less than 0, bigger than 2, put it at 2. Let's see if sail state is working. Okay, scripts aren't compiling. This and sail state is a duplicate variable. Absolutely correct. So that was apparently at full sails. So is the fort. The fort doesn't really have sails. Now let's try and look for some more ships. There should be some out here. Probably does make it all look very ugly though. Full sails, full sails. Okay. Let's shake them and let's enable God mode while testing. Nope. Half sails. correct. And full sails. Okay, now lower yours, or raise your sails. Okay, half sails. And he's gonna do it. Come on. Come on. If I sail in front of you, will it force you to raise the sails? Yeah. Lower sails. And full sails. Perfect. Everything else is also still working. 30 yards. Philippines Perso. Yep. That's captained by Miguel Bayano. Chevelo in English back. Looks correct. What else do we have? Some skills and a face. Face is probably not gonna be easy to fix, because I'm quite certain each zone does faces very differently. Thank you for the compliments. We're trying to fix things as best we can, like this. But does not New Horizon actually have this function? It does. It also has skill defense. So that should then do it. Grappling, imagine we have that. Cannons, accuracy, and sailing. And then I think we can so this, if it's realism mode, and on sea data is disabled. So now it's basically, if this is Iron Man mode, we're going to show less information. We're gonna show the ship name, the ship type, not the hull, not the crew. Let's actually try and make it slightly easier. Ship speed, nope. Cannons, max cannons, charge no, nation yes. Sail state, should we show the sail state? Close range. So this is medium range, and then we're gonna do type nation and ship type. Our sail state should be visible. Oh. And you're definitely not going to see any skills. Also not going to see any captain names. ship class. Class is gonna depend on whatever's here. It used to be added to the name. How is the class name? Let's do int. Where's ship name? Ship name. Let's do int the class equals. Does this return an int? Probably not. Oh, this is used in a lot of places. Which of these is the function declaration? Int ship class, that's the one I just added. Yep, so it's just ship class and then this, and then that should work. I think. Nothing else related to ship class. I mean, I'll show the engine in a moment. Ship type. French class real ship distance. Ship class equals this, else needs to be -1. Ship type, ship class, like that. And we'll add that on here. This time, name goes away. Sail state. I mean, it's clearly visible, so why not? And then this one, I'll get rid of the sail state. And then that should work. Let's try it. Scully Crush. Because I need to get rid of ship class. Okay. Now it should work. It's assuming a lot of numbers. I'm seeing 5 dots in the left bottom, which indicates the class. So it's a class 5 ship. Yeah, okay, and all of the skills are there, as are the skills for the Fort Commander. So we're getting close to fixing the spyglass. But Sabrine would actually like to see some of the new engine, so let's try and show it. So the question is,
Have a look at my fine wares.
main improvements in Storm X engine. It's a difficult question to answer. Basically, we get all of the potential graphical improvements that you see in City of Abandoned Ships and To Each His Own. Most of them aren't currently enabled in the port, and in fact we have a few new graphical glitches. But for example, it's currently raining, and I believe in at least To Each His Own there's also raindrops on the floor. If we look for raindrops in the code, we can basically enable them once I figure out how they actually work. But yeah, in To Each His Own, when initializing the weather, you basically have a lot of options for setting raindrops, and then raindrops will show up on the floor. Similarly, something that I added yesterday was, if we go to this save, we now actually have functioning ship lanterns. I have a ship lantern at the end of my ship, this ship, and then a bunch of ships. Some of them don't have lanterns, like this one, because they were probably built for Storm Engine 2, and so they don't have lantern locators. If you then look at the models, we'll just quickly do. Basically, we can now also import Storm Engine models in Blender. Install the plugin and then basically go to import GM, and then look for the ship. I think the ones we were currently sailing was something, come on, lugger, PML, this one. Basically import it and also export it, which is probably more important. And then we have a group of lights locators, and then this one LM6001. It's basically going to be the light for mast number 6, light number 1. We should also import mast number 6. You can see, where is it? Didn't that work? Let's try it again. Import GM, lugger VML mast 6. I have apparently broken mast 6. Oh no, it's normal. So basically this is mast 6, which gets attached to this locator. Basically gonna, can we snap to? maybe. So this one basically got attached here. And then this light, because it's called LM6, can be attached to this mast, which means that technically, if you have really good aim, you can shoot off this lantern and the light will go out. And so basically, in order to fix ships like this, we would have to figure out which model it is, open it in Blender, add the light locator, and then we can have these really nice lights with really improved mood on sailing at night. Yeah, it's like some of the graphical improvements. Currently, I think weather and the ocean look a bit terrible. But if you look at the sea into each zone, which why not quickly show it? That's basically something we can now also do in New Horizons. If we figure out how to actually configure it correctly. Take one, I don't think it matters. So basically get it to look like this. Much nicer ocean colors, nicer looking waves, and much better tweaked fog. So yeah. That's the graphical improvements. Is there anything we need to mention about non-graphical improvements? Yes, like stuff like the number of actors in a scene have been significantly improved. And on top of that, since we now have source code access, we can basically just change anything we want. Does that roughly answer the question of the main improvements in Storm X? For example, we could also use the combat system from City of Abandoned Ships, except that we have a lot of missing animations. But we could also just implement a completely new combat system. One of the things I would really like to do is significantly improve the way direct sail works. And try and get rid of most, if not all, of the loading screens you actually have when direct sailing. And yeah, we actually need to go to the other settlement. Didn't I have another officer? Yeah, okay. So let's continue with the main storyline, see if we can find any more bugs, and if you have any more questions about Storm Engine, feel free to let me know. Like yeah, skyboxes have been improved. There's still a bit of a glitch with, I think, the solar flare. For now, I've just converted over all of the skyboxes from vanilla New Horizons. So that's not going to be as big of an improvement. Right. I don't think the game is going to complain about me having officers. Well, the world map is interesting. It's easiest to demonstrate in Blender. The old world map, as you might be aware, basically uses sort of islands, and then the game is set up to take sort of a radius around the island and consider that island region. That's completely changed in City of Abandoned Ships and later. Let me see if I can demonstrate. Well, map. Islands. Icons, is it mine? But this is a pretty big file. It basically packed all of the islands into one map file. Then the way they sort of split it up is using an area file. Is this? I think this is it. No, this isn't it. No, it's not it. Let's look for, say, Jamaica. Take Jamaica.area. Basically gonna show you this square-like thing. This basically tells the game that this is the area around Jamaica. Go on a world map, sail into this, for Jamaica. We then look at Cuba, which has actually been split in two. This is Cuba Area 1, and this is Cuba Area 2, which makes it a lot more like configurable, much more powerful than what we currently have in Stone 2. Because currently I think some islands, especially for example like Cuba, aren't round. I like to draw a radius around that, and you sort of intersect with Hispaniola and you get some strange stuff, which is true for the world map and direct sail. And this basically allows you to cleanly delineate which part of the map you're actually on. So that's the main thing we would need to fix for the world map to work. So we basically have to redo pretty much how the entire world map works, which seems like a lot of work, and I haven't done it yet. I also know there's a problem with locators, but I'm not sure if those are set using GM files or using scripts. I think they're going to be scripts. I think Tortuga has this one, which I think should be much smaller than over here. Yeah. And so, like, an alternative approach would also be to copy, like, large parts of this map. But I think we might be missing some islands, and everything will be in different locations, which might then cause issues with quests, and I don't know. Sounds like a lot of work. But that's the theory behind it, of how to fix it and why it hasn't been fixed yet. Quickly check if I can still find how they did their these are basically all of the positions, like where the shores are, where the towns are. There's also what I'm looking for is they also have locators that they use for generating event ships and pathfinding. I'm not entirely sure where those are configured. Like this is basically telling it to draw a town on the world map. And if we then look in Blender and take, let's try Jamaica. Jamaica Palms, get rid of some of these areas. Of course, for Jamaica it doesn't. Basically, let's try one of the Cubas. What's interesting? No palm trees. But basically, you can like have a separate model for like dotting around palm trees, little details like that. Oh, you know what it is? Yeah. If I import Jamaica, this, where's Jamaica? Jamaica is also empty. Strange. Yeah, not sure what happened to the palm tree. We can adjust both the functions, like the scripts, and the engine. And I have been doing both. That's basically this engine version variable, which if you check engine.ini, basically added this little section over here, and basically that we're targeting sort of Pirates of the Caribbean compatibility. So it's this. And in some places in the engine, we try to do this as few places as possible. We're basically saying, if you're running Pirates of the Caribbean, we want your sort of virtual screen size to be 640 by 480. Without this, I would have had to rewrite all of the menus in the game, which we might want to do one day. For now, this is a much easier way of actually fixing it. And then similarly, for like some of the flags, if you're not running city event ships or later, this is going to be an ini file, otherwise it's going to be this. So stuff like that is definitely possible. And some other stuff is just easy enough to fix in the engine, and then we'll do it like in the script, and then we can do it in scripts. So it sort of depends on the situation. But I can also imagine a lot of cases where we've currently been trying to sort of hack together scripts to make things work because the engine didn't support them. And if we want, we can now simply implement them in the engine and have it work better than ever before. But yeah, I think like one thing I've noticed testing, and it's gonna cause some problems for like quests, is like because of the new combat system, attack has been renamed to fast attack. And I also noticed that in some quests, I think it was the what's it called? The Hornblower quest, and at some point triggers an attack manually, and that just, yeah, that would also need to be updated. Quickly find it. Maybe if I'm looking in the correct game, that would help. Storyline. Hornblower. It's the dialogues. Where is it? Come on. It's this one. And I'm not even sure where it is, but as a quest writer, you probably know this better than I do, but it's basically triggering manual attack. This isn't Pure C, this is what I call Storm C, which is a version that's completely different. But it's sort of inspired by C, and the engine is purely C++. I think that's correct, yeah. Which technically might also include some C. The scripts not being C can clearly be seen because text editors don't always manage to parse it correctly. But setting it to C does give sort of the best result you can hope for. And it also means that technically we can change anything about the language we want.
Break our laws, and I'll see your head in a basket.
Apparently we're quietly sneaking past. I don't think there's actually a way to
time, swine.
To actually succeed at a dialogue, right? I'll take the musket. Yeah. This one's overloaded, yeah. And I think we need to go to the tavern.
What are you, boy? Frank? What are you, boy? Frank or foe?
Always a pleasure. What do you want?
Talk to you.
What can I do?
I actually need to pay him.
Those kites smells better than you.
I don't think that happened last time.
Move along, garçon.
I'm just skipping over the dialogue because at this point I memorized it.
And I've got a tinker's dam, laddie.
Yeah, we can completely change it if we want to. I personally think the City of Abandoned Ships combat system also still feels clunky.
On a stick.
So I'm not sure if we want to use that. But we could technically do anything.
Break our laws, and I'll see your head in a basket.
Move along, garçon.
So not sure if we haven't actually implemented the new sky. 'Cause technically we can have a sky with like all the stars correctly in the right positions.
Move along, garçon.
And I'm gonna join the party. I do personally like the simplicity of the New Horizons combat system. Because I don't think combat should be incredibly difficult to learn. At least not in a pirate game. But yeah, it's definitely something worth brainstorming over. And it's also the reason why I haven't spent too much time like on the combat system, because we might want to completely change it. Which exit is it? So I think it's this one. Oh, those guys. Have to do the old trick. Running back and forth. And bridge down this way. Oh. Yes. Being out at night can be considered risky. In the current version, you need to be very careful about getting sort of stun locked by attacks, because the getting hit animation is pretty slow. Aside from that, it's pretty easy right now. I think we have to go back to Jamaica? Yeah, okay. I think we can either go to Martinique all on our own, or go to Jamaica and inform the government. And I'm honestly really happy and quite surprised that this, at least this part of the quest, just works. Even though the loading screens can still be a bit glitchy.
Begging your pardon, sir.
Your career as a scoundrel.
My apologies, senor. Seems I have gotten blood on your shirt.
I think that's going to be it for this stream, unless anyone has any more questions.
Make sail, oil. Make sail, oil.
Yeah, that could definitely be fixed. I wasn't there in the sort of intermediate version, because I did rewrite the entire system last
Will you
week.
spare a moment, kind sir?
And it's basically the dialogue box needs to scale in like rather large steps. Well, it doesn't need to, but it does anyway. So then the question is, do we want to sort of put a line in the middle? Do we want to move the answers to the top? Move the main dialogue text more towards the bottom? We'll have to do some experimentation, but that's very easy to tweak. Could even get rid of the line, if we'd prefer that. But yeah, then I'm gonna end the stream here. I hope everyone enjoyed it. And then, if people enjoyed it, we might do some more. I'll thank you for watching and see you next time.